Hey, welcome to the Ringer Gambling Show, Wednesday edition. Cousin Sal here. My good pals Joe House and Anthony Dabbundo joining me. And that's it. It's not going to be anything more than that. This is not NFL Fox Sunday where there's 12 talking heads. It's only the three of us, House. They're going to have to deal with it, right?
Well, what about Mike Tomlin? What if he says he wants to join us?
Right.
We have to say
Let's
yes to that, right?
Tomlin in. Big news.
We got a lot of coaches out of jobs.
Oh my God.
Ringer, tell Bill, put some calls in. Whoever doesn't get hired in the carousel.
That's a great call, AD. Who should we do? Let's draft. Let's do a draft of who we would want to come.
Oh, that would
Coach
be
is
nice
most
too.
likely to join the Ringer. Tomlin has to be first.
He already took the gig as president of Greenland, but otherwise, yeah, I think there are some guys floating out there that could actually join and be part of the Ringerverse here. All right, listen, we have a big show. NFL picks and props, NBA best bets. The Ringer Gambling Show is presented by FanDuel. FanDuel's got it all. Same game parlays, quick bets for jumping in live and your way so you could build the best bet that fits your play. Plus, don't miss out on the NFL playoffs all month long. Download the FanDuel app or head to FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started. You have to be 21 or older and present in select states or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. But let's start with Hump Day headlines. That was a fake one, Tomlin coming to the Ringer. But how about this? The Dodgers have signed Fernando Mendoza 1 year, $904 million. No, that's fake too, right? Is he a setup guy? Would that shock you, Dabbundo? Fernando Mania back in Tinseltown?
I think after luxury taxes, it would be like 1.8 billion.
Yeah, that's
for
true.
Mendoza. But yeah, I mean, Mendoza, where are we on him as far as his transition into the NFL?
Whoa.
Because I think it's going to be a really funny media story. I can't remember an athlete who is so uniquely corny entering the NFL at this rate. Like even Caleb Williams may be a little bit different, but Mendoza feels like a different class of itself.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much that matters. I don't know. I think it is, I don't know if his draft stock took a hit, but I feel like character-wise, a little bit of uncertainty, House, after that Monday night win over Miami. Although you have some thoughts about what he might have done after the game. I don't know.
Well, I do wonder, ESPN was really interested in this one fan in the stands, this young lady, and there was apparently some connection between this young lady and Beck, but I wondered after the way that Mendoza performed if maybe this young lady, Abuela Danger, Abuela Danger, maybe she found her way to the fast talking, ever earnest Mr. Mendoza's room. Is that possible? What a way to celebrate.
Well, if the playmaker had let her out of his clutches maybe for 3 minutes, maybe. I like that you say abuela. Like she hasn't cut an album just yet.
Grandma Danger?
I was going to say.
I think it's Abella for now. All right, let's
Okay,
get to
if
some
you say
real stuff here. This NFL coaching carousel. Here's an update. Mike McDaniel, formerly of the Miami Dolphins, fired a few weeks ago. Now, the OC of the Chargers, he apparently had an opportunity to take the gig as head coach for the Browns. He's like, nope, not going to do it. Cold weather. All three of those quarterbacks suck. I'll go to the Chargers. This is quite a pairing, I feel like, he and Harbaugh. I feel like if they have the right set of eyeglasses, they look like lesbian aunts wishing nephews good luck on Zoom before they head to college or something. But the bundle, does this help Herbert, or is it all really about keeping the offensive line healthy?
I think it's a little of both. I mean, they've had 5 different offensive coordinators now in the era of Justin Herbert to varying degrees of success. I mean, he came in, it was Shane Steichen. We all know Steichen ended up doing big things in Philly. Joe Lombardi, kind of a disaster. Kellen Moore, briefly. Greg Roman. So we've seen all these different names going around. I feel like McDaniel, to me, is clearly the best pure play caller of the bunch, but I'm not sure what that actually looks like in a Jim Harbaugh style offense. Like, how much does Harbaugh say, no, like, we're doing things my way, versus how much of it is McDaniel getting free reign to build the offense that he wants? Because it's very clear we don't think that much of Tua, but they got elite production out of their offense for multiple seasons, that there's clearly something there that can build an elite offense.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
much do you think? I'm sorry, House. Well, I'll ask you though. But how much do you think of that is settled before the coach takes the gig? Like, does McDaniel meet with Harbaugh and say, "Listen, what are you going to let me do before I figure out where I'm going to go?" And I mean, I guess he could always lie, Harbaugh. But you think that's squared away before preseason?
You have to figure, right? I think we'll know if he refers to Harbaugh as Unk. If we hear in early, because there is there is a little bit of a generational gap between Harbaugh and the way he approaches it, and I think that's what you're getting at. But I kind of love this for McDaniel. Let McDaniel cook. Like this Chargers team is a perfect piece of unformed clay that he'll be able to step in. He'll be living in Manhattan Beach. It's 12 minutes to the facility. I mean, he'll be. We'll see him at Ercles, right? We'll go over there and have a hot dog with Mikey Mack. Maybe they'll let him be in charge of the jukebox for a minute, and then he'll come on in and spin some tunes with Justin Herbert. Like they have pieces, and they get the offensive line squared away, they get some depth to go behind the guys that got hurt. You expect both those guys to survive most of the season, and I mean I'm kind of intrigued, to be honest.
I am too. You know what I'm going to miss though? I'm going to miss the press conferences because they don't really let the coordinators get involved in the press conferences. That's what I would like to see Harbaugh step aside. Sometimes these older managers in baseball, they let the pitching coach change the pitcher, right? Like they'll let him go to the mound. That's the situation I'm looking for here. Like, all right, Harbaugh's like, I'm boring. McDaniel's boring, but in an entertaining way. Maybe he does the press conference right from Merkley's house. I don't know. But that's what I want to see out of this guy.
Sal, are you going to hang out with him in Manhattan Beach?
I'd like to. There's always pictures of Harbaugh hanging around, walking around, like, he ate here, he ate there. And that's like, maybe should I eat there? What is that? Maybe I'll.
It's a signal. I don't know though. You want to follow the dietary plan of Jim Harbaugh?
I'll take anything at this point. Yeah, whatever it is better than what I have. Speaking of eating beef, there's a lot of beef between Baker and Coach Stefanski, former Coach Stefanski. Dabbundo, help me figure this out here, because I don't really know what's going on. So some guy, D. Orlando Ledbetter, tweeted that Stefanski had a dumpster fire at quarterback in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson failed, which started a chain reaction to 11 other starters, blah, blah, blah. And then Baker responds to this as if Stefanski wrote it or quoted there. And he said, "Failed is quite the reach, pal. Still waiting on a text call from him after I got shipped off like a piece of garbage. Can't wait to see you twice a year, coach." He's responding to Stefanski, but it's not really Stefanski. I don't know. What is this? Am I missing something here?
It is a cautionary tale in 2026 media illiteracy. I think that, people, I mean, look, these are professional athletes. They're constantly looking for reasons to feel slighted, to use as motivation. And I feel like this is a classic example of that, of Baker Mayfield drumming some things up. And look, Kevin Stefanski, he's a Philly guy. He's very direct in his communication, it seems to be. But this is a huge stretch to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, House, anything that spices up the very bland NFC South is good, right? I don't care how it starts, but I'm still picking everyone in that division under 8.5 wins. You going over?
We tried that with the AFC South this year and got smacked right in the face with that thing.
It wasn't good.
But I do like this. It feels like we're in the tequila version of Baker. Like that's where he is in his off season right now, right? He's just sitting back. He's relaxed. He's got the little kids. It's like, come on, man. Let me just fire off a little bit here. Do we really think it's true Stefanski didn't reach out at all to Baker after Baker got traded?
Well, he also asked for a trade, didn't he? Didn't he want out?
I think so.
I felt like he wanted out, so there's a little bit of a difference. Yeah, he might have reached out. Listen, if it helps Baker not blow a double-digit fourth-quarter lead against the Falcons in a game I have money on, so be it. Good. Like I said, it helps things out. All right, let's switch to baseball. I know you love this, Dabbundo. Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, elected to the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Do you like one? Do you like both? Do you not care? What are you feeling?
Well, the real story here is that your favorite player, Chase Utley, got to 59%.
Yeah.
And how will you feel if Chase Utley gets into the Hall of Fame? Because he is my favorite baseball player of all time. And I'm guessing he's pretty high on your least favorite list.
Right. I don't know if that's
going to drive a wedge between us.
I feel like the real story is the one that I just presented, that Jones and Beltran are in the Hall of Fame. But no, I don't like that. I don't like. I have a buddy, Rob Parker, who has a vote here, and he handed in a blank ballot this year.
What's the point?
What's the point of the blank ballot?
Yeah, like why have a ballot? Like I feel like it's a little bit too selective.
I say, what's the point of clicking 10 boxes, which is what a lot of these guys do. And they present, guys and women, they present what their ballot looks like. And it's like, all right, you're not at a freaking buffet here where you have to check all everything. Oh, let me grab this. Let me grab that. Let's at least please, like Beltran. Okay. I don't know. He would be on the edge. I don't know. Andrew Jones, 400 home runs, 10 golden gloves. Like, okay, right there. I still say take the best of the best. Rob Parker's thing is, hey, if I didn't vote for him the first time, they didn't get in the first time, I'm not giving them a vote the second time. I kind of like that.
I mean, it is kind of weird that players go from like, oh, they're at 59% this year, and in like 6 years they might get in through the back door.
I love David Wright, but his percent went up like 6%. He went up 6%, and it's like, what? Why did you? Who's not voting for him the first time that voted for him? These are not great classes. I don't know, House. Does this bother you at all, Beltran Jones?
No. I don't care about the Baseball Hall of Fame. Is Barry Bonds in? Is Roger Clemens in? No? Okay, then I don't care about, talking about percentages or years or any of the cockamamie ways that all these middle-aged white people concoct to, be mad at the sport and all that. Just go nuts. Enjoy yourselves. Tell me when Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are in.
Well,
have you at least been to Cooperstown House?
Don't care. Not interested.
Wow, not even a trip.
Nice. You got to go, House. You got to go.
I'll go one time.
You don't have to golf. One weekend, don't golf. Go drive up.
Maybe they have golf up there, I think.
It's nice. Yeah. It's all good stuff. To your point, though, House, Beltran might have experimented with all the juice and everything that's keeping everybody else you just mentioned.
Also was wrapped up in a cheating scandal, too.
Yeah.
They seem to look the other way for that,
That's probably where all the no's came from.
You steal signs, stealing signs, yes, Hall of Fame. Use steroids when everyone was using steroids. No Hall of Fame. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a mess. And as we see these ballots and see how people vote, it's going to get even messier and diluted. And I get they have to have an event every year. You can't, I know Rob Parker votes for nobody. You can't have no ceremony in a given year. That's a lot of tourism. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of everything. But all right, let's get to the good stuff. I don't even know if this is good. It feels like a wash. The Mets trade Luis Angel Acuna for Luis Robert Jr. I mean, we swapped Luis's, which is very dangerous. Throw in Luis Guzman, the actor from Carlito's Way. I was excited last week. Acuna Jr. hit 4 home runs in the Venezuelan League. He got a Nobel Peace Prize for it and everything. But I feel, Dabbundo, this is, whatever. We have too many infielders. It's a trade both organizations aren't psyched about. I feel like Robert's best years are behind him, and Acuna is an Acuna. But we get no playing time with the Mets.
I think David Stern's been trying to trade Luis Angel Acuna from the day that he became the general manager of the New York Mets. I don't think he's ever liked Acuna, and he's been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I think he realized that a utility infielder who doesn't hit for much power, except in the Venezuelan League, doesn't have a ton of value. And Luis Robert, I mean, you're buying like the ultimate floor, but at least he can play center field. I mean, who is going to play center field
every day, probably. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I already missed Nimmo. But okay, if I had to put a number on it, Acuna Jr., now that he's not a Met, over 55.5 stolen bases for the White Sox next year. Is he getting there?
Is he going to get on base 55 times?
Maybe he'll pinch run. I don't know. We'll
might be the only
jab
way.
at you, Dabbundo. Phillies president says Bo Bichette joining the Mets was a gut punch. I love it. Already worth it. I love it. What does that mean to you, Dabbundo? You can't deny it hurts.
You can't reason with a madman. You can't.
Who are you talking about?
The madman is Steve Cohen.
There's the madman.
I mean, if Steve Cohen is going to pay that much money plus luxury tax for Bo Bichette, who's a good but not elite player, at some point we're just going to say, you know what? It's your money, not ours. We don't have that kind of money. We're not the richest owner in baseball. We're not the New York Metropolitans, but we're still going to win more games on the actual scoreboard and the standings page at the end of the season. So
interesting. Okay.
I mean, Bichette it's a tough loss because we were on him early and you guys just swooped in late and panicked and took the big money offer.
Yeah, we didn't even know he was on a roster until you mentioned him.
Exactly.
Alerted the Mets to the Bo Bichette availability.
But yeah, you can't reason with a madman, and that's the reality of the situation for us.
Well, there's a gut punch tied to it. But I'm going to put odds on Bo Bichette bobblehead night at Citi Field when the Phillies come to town at minus 15,000, because that's how you That's how you fight fire with fire.
He's only going to be there 1 year before he opts out. So
That's
the
right.
bobblehead might not have much value.
Yeah, maybe we do
this
that
time
in
next
April.
year.
I'm not sure where that's going. All right, House, listen, we got football to talk about, NFL. We have our 107 picks. I don't really want to talk about it, but we're going to have to. We have NBA talk. We're going to do that all on the other side of the break, which happens 2 minutes from now. Ringer Gambling Show. House, Dabbundo, Sal, right here. All right, we're back. Ringer Gambling Show. We hit you with the Hump Day headlines. Now, I guess there's games. There's 2 games left. My God, oh my God, look at that. The Patriots are still alive. At Denver, laying 5.5, 42.5 is the over/under. Let's talk about the spread, House. I beat Simmons on this because what did he say? Like 3 or 2.5 or something? It's
Number
like,
that was too low.
Oh, but yeah, but he's full of it. He knows.
Yes,
Everyone, the whole world would be all over New England if it was 2.5. So it's 5.5, which suggests if Denver was going to be a 1.5 point favorite, that Bo Nix is worth 7 to the spread. That's maybe a little high. I remember there was a time when only like the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league were worth 7 to the spread. Or what do you think? Is this about right?
Yeah, I'm not going to quibble with it because it's not just Knicks. And this is true for quarterbacks across the board. I mean, obviously the market prices in the offense that the team likes to run and that quarterback's ability to navigate that offense. But the piece of it to me that makes it feel like it's within the realm of reason is what we saw out of Bo Nix in the fourth quarter. That throw that he made to Mims, that's like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. And this is why I lost many times betting against the Broncos. I wanted to fade the Broncos all regular season long. And each time that I felt like, okay, they're up against some competition, he just went out and made plays in the fourth quarter. He was so gosh darn sharp when they had to get drives for field goals or go ahead scores that I feel like this price is not completely out of the realm of reason.
He's kind of doing it in the fourth quarter all year. He's a little bit Caleb Williams light. Like Caleb Williams gets the credit for it because they're spectacular passes and like all fourth down and craziness. But what do you think, Dabbundo? 7 points, right, for the Bo? I think it's like normally Bo Nix wouldn't be a 7-point difference, but you have a backup here who's probably capable, but also hasn't thrown a pass in a meaningful game in almost 3 years, right?
Yeah, I think that's the other part of this. What is Stidham at this point in his career? I don't know. Like I know Schrager was on Simmons at some point last year trying to make the case that Stidham, should be getting looks for starting jobs, but we haven't had a ton of sample. I mean, we have 100 quarterbacks that have played at least 100 snaps in the last 5 years. And Stidham is 67th in efficiency. And the guys near him are late career Cam Newton, Will Levis, Josh Dobbs, Tyson Bagent, Bryce Young, and Kenny Pickett. So if he's that level, 6 points might be a little bit much because like those guys are somewhat passable, but it's not that crazy to say that he should be down in like the, Brandon Allen tier, the Jeff Driscoll tier. And if he's down in that tier, then it's really scary to say you have any money on Denver.
House, let's work backwards here because we can't have the Patriots advance. So what's the stat line? What does Stidham's stat line have to be for them to have a chance to advance, do you think?
22 of 36. Okay. And 212 yards that come on 3-yard dump offs. I mean,
right.
and 1 yard after one yak that goes for, Cortland Sutton catches the ball in the backfield and runs it for 70 yards to put you over the 220 yard total, something like that.
And most importantly, no interceptions or 1 interception.
We can give him 1.
Okay,
you expect the
2.
pass rush? No, but it can't be 2. Two is too many.
All right.
He needs to go
doable.
full 2020 Jimmy G, NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
6 for 8, 77 yards. Niners win 37-20. That's the game we need from Jared Stidham.
Name one running back that can run the ball on Denver. I tried that last week.
I know. It's outrageous.
No, you can run on New England a little bit. Not as much as you could win.
Dabbundo might have an answer for us, I think, when we do props in a second. I don't know that he's going to be a workhorse, but anyway, we'll figure that out in just a minute. Let's go to the other game. The Rams at Seattle. This hasn't moved either. Seattle's a 2.5-point favorite. 47.5 is the total. Dabbundo, the lines for the first two games these two played. Seattle was +3. These are closing lines. Seattle +3 in LA. Seattle -1.5 in Seattle, and now it's 2.5. Does that jibe for you in terms of it's changed to now?
I think so. I think you'd have to upgrade Seattle just purely off their defensive numbers. And Film Watchers guy did a great breakdown on just how connected their back seven is right now, and the way that they trade off coverages, the way that they occupy space, the way that they smother teams. And we already know that this is not just the best run defense this season, but the best run defense of the last 5 years by EPA per play. So as versatile as the Rams are, as capable as they are offensively, this Seattle defense at home, I think, has to be a favorite. And on the other side, what is the status of this Rams secondary? Because Darnold has had success both times. One came with a lot of picks, one came with a huge comeback, but they've moved the ball in both games pretty consistently on this Rams defense. So I'm certainly leaning with Seattle.
I mean, that 457 number is driving me nuts, though. Now, because that's what freaking Stafford put up against Seattle. So I don't know the other side either. House, going into the playoffs, have your power rankings changed between these teams to a half a point difference or a point difference? Are you less impressed with the Rams getting to where they are, how they did it, or more impressed with Seattle just blowing out San Francisco? Or does it not matter? Are you thinking the same as you did a couple weeks ago?
I love the setup because I feel like the extra point is in the appropriate spot, going from 1.5 to 2.5 regular season to playoffs. And I'll split it. I'll give half a point to what AD very succinctly laid out in terms of an upgrade on the defensive side for Seattle, and then half a point. And I was reminded of this. That is a genuine home field advantage in the playoffs. There is a difference in Seattle between playoff home field, home fans, and regular season. That Seattle team over the course of Mike McDonald's career, extraordinary on the road, a great against the spread record and straight up record on the road, not great at home, but then watching that kickoff return by Shaheed and the way that the defense especially really fed off of the vibrant and extremely loud home field, I feel like the point is worth it.
I think so too. I just wonder. I wish we could have seen them play 3 meaningful quarters, Seattle. It's not their fault. Kenneth Walker went crazy anytime he gave him the ball anyway, but that game was over, if not after the kick return, then after the 4th and 1 stop with the fullback option. So really, really early that was over. But
when you're running the fullback option on 4th and 1 to the outside, you already even if you get the first down, I feel like you've already lost. The message that sends to your team, like, we cannot get a yard, we must run a trick play on 4th and 1.
It was
tough. I think so. Yeah. So anyway, all right, let's do some player props here from the games. We will be picking the games themselves on the Ringer pregame show. When does that start? 1:30 Eastern? Yes. House, does that sound right? Yes, I think on Sunday. Yeah, we're not doing 2 days. We're only gonna. It wouldn't make sense to do Saturday this week. There's nothing.
We could. I mean, I'm happy to get together.
Do a
with
UFC pregame or something, but I don't know. Yeah,
discuss our weekend plans. Maybe
that's all.
College basketball, tennis,
golf is back. There's going to be live, and it's on the West Coast. We will be live betting golf all late Saturday afternoon. It'll be wonderful.
I love it.
Going into Sunday.
Yes, the betting doesn't stop
whole
for
show
anything.
on
Doesn't
that.
slow down. But anyway, all right, let's do props for the games. House, we're going to pick any game. Are we all on the same game here? Yeah, we're only taking props for that AFC battle. Hit us with one.
Yeah, I have Ramondre Stevenson featured very, very prominently in this New England offense, especially catching the ball. I don't think they need him. Denver's run defense over the course of the season was good, but we just watched a concept that the Bills ran where really if the Bills had kept running the football and taken the football out of Josh Allen's hands, I really feel like they might have had a chance. Sean McDermott might still be, coaching, but this is a combination play here, rushing and receiving yards over 71 and a half. The implied rush number there is around 43, but I really love Stevenson getting these balls from Drake May, and I think that's how they're going to protect Drake May from himself, because we've seen two very lackluster efforts thus far in the playoffs.
Okay. All right. House posed the question earlier, Dabbundo. He said, where is Denver going to get their rushing yards from? You have sort of an answer here.
Marvin Mims over 2.5 rush yards plus 120. We only need one carry, and backup quarterback, pretty good run defense. You're going to see some kind of trickeration from Sean Payton. These are the kind of bets that I love when you have the entire game. You just sit there and you almost forget about it because you're watching the game and you're thinking about other things and who's winning and maybe another bet or two you have. And then out of nowhere, it's a jet sweep. Right. And whether he gets the edge or not, if you just need to get a little bit of the edge, you get 3 yards, and guess what? He's probably not going to get another carry. So it's usually decided on one play, and it's not like you're betting first touchdown or you're betting first drive stuff. Like, you don't know when it's going to happen. It could happen in the third quarter. It could happen in the first quarter. So, yeah, I love this. I think Peyton gets creative. They have to find ways to generate offense. Again, if Stidham's going to only go 6 for 8, they're going to run the ball a lot. So Mims over 2.5.
I like this. I think I had this when they played. What did I have this one? No, they only played one game. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. But yes,
he did not get a carry against Buffalo, but he has gotten
one against Buffalo.
He's gotten like 10 over the course of the year.
Right. I like that you, Anthony Dabbundo, sitting in his studio apartment there in Philadelphia, can figure out that, hey, this is their only path to success. But defensive coordinators are not going to keep an eye on Marvin.
They will never know it's coming.
They won't know. Okay, well, we got to keep this quiet.
Even if they're ready for it, they're still going to give up 3 yards.
That's true. Okay. And well, listen, you won with Jake Tonjes over 35.5 receive. I feel bad. He's out now. You can't bet the San Francisco tight end situation anymore. You were dialed in.
I think I've lost every single side until, certainly in the 107, we have not had a great playoffs, Sal, but the props, Niners tight ends. I actually got sent the script. The Electric Factory sent me the script.
Oh, okay.
So I knew that to bet the under for Kittle because he was going to get hurt. And then they told me we're going to throw everybody off the set. We're going to have Ton just have a big game, but then he's going to get hurt and go out for the season too. So unfortunately the Niners are out. I don't know what I'm going to do now, but
shameful.
Mims, yeah.
Shameful the way you celebrated that Kittle injury. Shameful. Just
celebrate is a stretch. Come on. Come on. All I said was it was going under anyway. What a shame.
Drake May over 29.5 pass attempts minus 106. He's gone 30 or more in 5 of his last 6 for his bottom 10 defenses. And when I say bottom 10, I know Denver's not a bottom 10, but as they relate to pass attempts allowed. And he's also averaged 34 over this 6-game stretch. So Drake May, somehow racks up all the passes. I don't know what's going on. House, they did show him playing blackjack in Vegas. I'm trying to figure this out. Was that definitely in Vegas? Did you see that too?
It could not have been Vegas. I assumed it was Foxwoods.
They have blackjack tables other places. So.
Okay. But everyone was reporting Vegas, right?
That's not accurate.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I don't think
he was
so
in
either.
New England. He's not.
So love a good Foxwoods run.
Yeah. That would have been, and the coaches were with him. Right. I know. I kind of like him now. Shit, that sucks. He's playing blackjack. And by the way, they showed a few of his hands. He hit on 18 multiple times and drew a 3. That's how effing lucky this team is, House. This is craziness.
Right? I was going to say they should put up a prop. Drake May fumbles to be recovered by his own team.
Oh, that's good.
Over 1.5 is even money. Because last week, how many times did the Texans fail to recover fumbles that they easily should have recovered?
They were
I was thinking this morning, like, this Patriots team isn't hateable yet, and they were by the time 3, 4, 6 Super Bowls. This is the way to do it, though. This is the way to do it. Like, hit them. This year's Tuck rule was their schedule, I think, is what we're going to say, right? And how lucky it was. And I know Denver was number 2 easiest schedule, so whatever. But the fact that they're running into backup quarterbacks or backup offensive lines or backup everything, I think this builds to another evil empire, Dabbundo. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily Belichick, the gritty a-hole staring us down on the sidelines, but this is going to get us to the point we need to be with the Patriots.
I think it's going to be harder to ever hate May like Brady ever was.
Oh,
hated.
sure.
Yeah, way harder.
Yeah.
He's just a little bit too wholesome. Also, his wife, everybody likes the baking videos and TikTok influence and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm struggling to hate the Patriots, except that I seem to pick against them and lose frequently.
Yeah,
well, she becomes a regular. I know, right? If Mrs. May becomes a regular at Barstool, that'll help. I think we can figure that out.
Oh, she's a pizza eater, right?
Right. She does love pizza. What are you gonna
she
do?
does. We've heard this.
All right. I guess we have to talk about this 107 stuff.
Do we?
I didn't make it like a big deal, and now I guess I am. We were 0-4 last week. We were 0-5 the week before, right? There
Oh
were
my
5
God,
games.
is
the week
this
before.
true? Holy cow!
Yeah. See, now
It was a comedy
hitter.
of things that had to go wrong. For
This
all
is
of these.
amazing.
Yeah, we're going for the booby prize.
But I mean, what's more embarrassing, the 0-9 or that 0-9 puts us only tied with House and Simmons, who had to go 3-1 to remain tied with us at 43 and 56. House, what are your thoughts? This is a disaster.
These numbers are complete crapshoot. We're just guessing. I mean, there aren't sharp sides anymore. You're just wanting to be on the correct side. I mean, what was the correct side of that Bears-Rams game with that weather? I don't know. I mean,
If we had the Bears, there's no way that the cornerback would have forgot how to play defense in the final seconds. That's for sure.
Right.
So
If we had the Broncos, they would have called that Brandon Cooks play a catch.
We all should take, be required to eat some of that San Francisco chowder for talking ourselves into San Francisco. That was the one.
I think so. I think we should
had to do some mental gymnastics to get there with that.
Should wait a month before the chowder spoiled before we have it. I mean, that's how bad it was. But in our defense, and we're terrible. Maybe this is why the good prognosticators are good, and we're not, Dabbundo. There were 9 games. 3 of them were coin flips. Honestly, both Bills games could have gone either way.
Yep.
Say what you will. We lost that coin flip. Actually,
both.
The Rams-Bears was for sure ridiculous, obviously. I mean, that was the worst, to have Rams minus 3.5 and that nonsense at the end to go down. That's 3 games. And then what's the other? Oh, Green Bay, Chicago, right?
Yep.
Is that a bad one?
Yeah. I would say that was a pretty bad one.
Yeah. So almost half of them, we were on the wrong side of, I don't know, 72% win probability at some point in those games.
Also, every game we've disagreed, you have to pick one of the picks, right? So like we've been head to head,
Yeah,
and then
that's right.
when I like a side and you like a side, we pick your side, my side wins, and vice versa. So yeah,
The truth is we're both 9-0. We're just
basically.
it's not working.
When you
out
put
there
them
a little
together, we're 0-9. Exactly. People are look. Also, I didn't want to tell you this, Sal, but Simmons did tell me, he's like, look, I know that you're very prideful about being right here, but I need to finish ahead of Sal, so you got a torpedo the last couple of weeks here. So he did want to make sure that. No, I'm kidding, but I wish that were real.
Listen, we have to at least beat the guy who doesn't think the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. We have to.
When did they win the Super Bowl? Did they beat somebody that's near and dear to my heart? I don't remember that.
Not paying
That's amazing.
paying that much attention. And so, all right, but at least Shield and the fantasy guys are they're above 500. They're saving a little face here as a collective ringer group here. They're 50 and 49. If they hold on, so be it. What do we have to do this week, Dabbundo? We have 4 picks. I know we have 2, but then we have to do props or what? How are we going to get to 107? We're at 99 now.
I think we should just submit some blanks.
Okay.
Like your buddy Rob Parker.
Do the
Just
Rob
blanks.
Parker thing.
Put Barry Bonds in.
Good enough. We have Barry Bonds.
Instead of
plus
picks,
3.5.
we just put a big X in the box. That's it. Just nothing.
I love it. All right. House,
WD.
We're going to talk NBA. Oh,
Yeah.
you're so psyched. When we come back on the other side of the break, we have best bets, maybe a little time for tennis, Aussie Open action. We'll be back. Ringer Gambling Show. Sal, House, Dabbundo. All right, Ringer Gambling Show. Cousin Sal, Joe House, Tony Tokens himself, Anthony Dabbundo here. I just hit my camera, so I have no idea if I'm framed or not. You might just be looking at my my giant nose. But anyway, let's do this. Let's talk NBA. A couple good games last night. A couple more to look forward to tonight. Suns 116-110 10. They beat the Sixers. Dabbundo, I picked this on the Ringer Gambling Shows, my best bet. Nice job also by Tate getting us to the window with the NC State upset. Booker 27, Grayson Allen 16 off the bench with 4 threes. What are you thinking of this Sixers game? It's this team. Is it just, Embiid's doing great, and then we're just going to wait for him to collapse, but they're going to lose anyway with him in the lineup? What's happening, Dabbundo?
Yeah, I am thoroughly enjoying this Sixers season, but I am getting a little concerned. I mean, Tyrese Maxey looked kind of fatigued last night, and I think they're up against the wall of just how much he's playing. And of course, he gets named all-star starter. Everybody's all excited. Maxey's having this great year. He's top 5 in the MVP odds. It's like, wait a second. Tyrese Maxey is having the leap year into elite player, but at the cost of that is the usage. I mean, he's playing so many minutes to carry this team. When he's off the floor, the offense turns to complete mush for most of those minutes. So it's a delicate balance they need to find, and I think they really need to find it soon because the reality of the East, everybody's going to make the playoffs pretty comfortably. There's not really any real risk if you take your foot off the gas and get Maxey some rest here around.
Is that true? Everyone makes the playoffs in the East?
Basically, that's the NBA, but especially
like
the
a
East.
Notre Dame thing?
Not the Wizards, just not the Wizards.
Not the Wizards.
That's
All right,
the
but
only
House,
rule.
Listen, we have the Suns, and, on our text chain with me, you, Hench, and Simmons. Simmons is just bombarding us with the, got to get the Clippers, got to bet the Clippers. The 2, and then he's like, you guys are idiots. I was like, why are we idiots? I bet the Suns to win the Pacific at plus 300. They're all of a sudden minus 105. I know you have them also. You had them overs all over the place. I'm not interested in the Clippers at plus 300, plus 300 to 1, and now you're going to do a lap because they're 50 to 1. When they're just going to struggle to make the play-in. Like, I don't care that the odds just went crazy. It's still going to be a losing bet, right?
All you're talking about is betting on Kawhi Leonard's health.
Yeah,
Do you
right,
want to bet
exactly.
on that? Does
Right.
any sane person want to bet on that?
Or Harden.
bet against it.
Harden didn't make it to the
Right.
finish line all those years. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that it takes an extraordinary effort. I watched it on Martin Luther King Day here in Washington, D.C. The Wizards hosted the Clippers. James Harden had to save the Clippers, save a win. Like, they were trying to win that basketball game. They're just not very, very good. They still have some talent issues. Harden did get them the win against the Wizards, but not last night. And it's just a bridge too far if Kawhi's not going to play. When's he going to play? I don't know.
Exactly.
And so you just can't bet on it.
Right. Okay, so the other competition is obviously the Lakers in that division. They beat the Nuggets 115-107. They outscored Denver by 10, I think, in the fourth. Luka had 38, triple-double. LeBron added 19. The Lakers 3-0 versus Denver, Dabbundo, but 2 of those were without Jokic, including last night.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers are in a weird spot now too, right? Like, everybody was down on them coming into the season. Then everybody bought in, and now it feels like they're starting to creak a little bit. I mean, House, like, what's the downside risk of the Lakers' current situation?
What do you mean by downside risk?
Like, how safe are they in this NBA West right now in terms of long term? Because I feel like I want to bet against LA because I don't really know that they have enough in the chamber to make a real move here.
They don't have a move, and they don't have any reasonable shot of being competitive in these upcoming Western Conference playoffs.
Yeah.
They're the same team as last year. It is, basically the LeBron James kind of retirement tour, except for they haven't formally announced that yet. The best thing for them to do would be to trade him and fetch whatever they can in this upcoming trade deadline, but they're not going to do that because he doesn't want to leave, it doesn't seem. And, where would he go? Bill Simmons and Rob Mahoney this week on the Bill Simmons podcast, Simmons put him in New York. They said send Karl Anthony Towns to the Lakers, put LeBron in New York, and let's see if that thing works out. But that doesn't make any sense. He conceded. I mean, that was just for shits and giggles. It was for the purpose of our enjoyment from February into May. But this Lakers team is dead. They have nothing. There's nothing they can do. They can't improve themselves. They still have a draft pick they could try and get, but there isn't anybody that's going to come in and alter their fortunes in terms of helping them play defense the way they need to play defense. They missed Dorian Finney-Smith, so they just, they're going to be where they be. They'll end up in the 6 or 7 or maybe even the 5 hole, and
You got to do this.
they'll be
you gotta
lucky.
do this house.
Yeah. Oh, right. 6, 7.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah.
You're American or not? Yeah.
They'll be lucky to make it out of the first round. That's all.
Yeah, so
Could
if you're
5 to 1.
looking
5 to
for-
1. Any interest?
well-
No playoffs?
Oh, so that I
For
was
them
just
to
going to
miss
say.
the playoffs altogether.
The
looking
problem
to
is the
fade
math
them.
gets hard because the Warriors are probably dead now.
Why don't you
Yeah.
do this? You're not going to get 5 to 1, but under 47.5 wins is even. The bet House and I made with the Suns to win the division is about even now. I mean, that's it's not 5. Maybe sprinkle a little on 5 to 1, but it's still the Lakers. They'll figure something out. One more thing. Luka passed Jokic for 30-point triple doubles. He now has 52. Jokic has 51. You know who has the most, House, in history?
Russell Westbrook.
30-point triple doubles. 30 point.
Is it Elgin?
It's Oscar Robertson,
Oh.
and it's a massive number. So 52 now. Luka is second with 52. Oscar Robertson, 106.
Oh,
I know it was a different
magnificent.
game, but for God's sakes.
Magnificent.
Okay, let's do Rockets over the Spurs, 111-106. That's a good home win. Sengun 20, 13, and 9. Wemby only 5 for 21. Spurs only 14 points in the fourth. And the Rockets now only 2.5 behind San Antonio and plus 200 to take the Southwest. How's you biting, or is this going to be a San Antonio thing?
Biting. I'm
You
biting.
are.
Yeah. That's just they had a little bit of a rough patch. The Rockets did. They have some guys going in and out injury wise, but that version of what we saw last night, it comes down to a lot of reliance upon Reed Shepherd. So that is the part that makes you maybe a tiny bit nervous. But dude had 8 points in about 50 seconds last night. And especially at home, that Rockets team is very tough. And they are physically one of the few teams that can stand up to San Antonio, put pressure on those guards out on the perimeter. And Wemby is very uncomfortable against the Rockets. The Rockets have the size to match up. So I really like the Rockets at that price.
Okay. Good enough. Player of the day, player of the night last night, Manuel Quickly, 40 points for the Raptors. What? 7 threes, a perfect 11-11 from the line. Second player in NBA history with 40 points, 10 assists, and 80% field goal percentage, joining Wilt, who did it 3 times. Kuminga had 20. He wants out. I don't know how they're going to replace Butler's 20-plus a night. Dabbundo, the no for Golden State to make the playoffs. You want to know. That's a plus 162.
Oh, pause this show. Where?
Okay.
Where is that? Where?
I mean, they're definitely trading Kuminga, right?
Who cares?
That's what I saw last night. Yeah. What, am I,
Wait a
They're
minute,
definitely
is that
not
crazy?
going to trade Curry, but
I mean, that was after the game
I have to make a
last
bet.
night. Plus 134 now. Okay, whatever. I mean, someone saw me put it in the outline, so now it's plus 134.
Great.
They're minus 500 to make the play-in. That's no fun, but
Leave that alone.
they'll
It
make,
honestly
but they'll
makes
make
no
the
sense.
play-in, and then you have a coin flip shot, right? Probably.
Well,
Plus
how about
134.
this?
Yeah.
What is it for them to miss the play-in?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm
guess
doing
you could
both.
do that too.
I'm betting both. Miss the play-in and miss the playoffs for the Golden
See.
State Warriors. This is the only path for them that makes any sense whatsoever. If they're not going to trade Steph Curry, he should stop playing. It doesn't make any sense. We just watched this with the Philadelphia 76ers. They caught an absolute miracle by shutting down the whole thing when it turned out to be a total bust to acquire Paul George last year. And they ended up with, to my way of thinking, I understand Concaniple's been incredible, but VJ Edgecombe is right there. And he's right there. That's the reason that the Sixers are 23-19 and have any hope whatsoever. They got the 3rd overall pick in the gosh darn draft. This is what the Warriors should be doing. These bets, miss the play-in, miss the playoffs. I'm going to parlay it too. They won't let me. But I'm betting those. As soon as this show is over, I need to borrow some money, cuz.
I got him so excited. Yeah, you would think we were still talking about a Bella Danger here. Unbelievable, Dabbundo. Look at what we did to House.
you got fired up for that. I think that's the problem is, like, can you do that at this point in Steph Curry's career? Like, what does that look like? You're just saying, hey, like,
he doesn't play. It looks like how is the golf season right now in Northern California or any of the
Pro-Am.
places you're
We
going to
need more
go?
guys at the Pro-Am coming up next week.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, let's.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong on that.
Let's get to a couple of games tonight. Why not? Looking forward. Cavs -2.5 at the Hornets. Is that what's happened to the Hornets? It's now 3. The NBA Finals crew is calling this game. The Hornets have arrived, Dabbundo. They won at OKC. They won at LA. They beat Denver. They won at LA twice. They beat the Clippers and the Lakers. What do we think about this Hornets team? Do we get in while the getting's hot?
I mean, it's funny because they're 16-27. And all their metrics say that they're like a pretty league average team. They've just had the worst clutch record in the NBA this year. So I guess the question is, you're catching the 3 points. Do you want to be caught in a situation where you're going up against, this Cleveland team, which has way more closers, and you're sitting on this Hornets squad that hasn't been good in close games? The market's clearly aware of the fact that the Hornets are better than their record suggests, but is this a sell high? I'm kind of leaning toward yes.
And how's Cooper Flagg? Somehow a gigantic favorite over Khan, who you mentioned earlier, to win Rookie of the Year. -900 now. Is it because Khan sat down with Simmons? Is that considered a jinx now?
Possibly. This is people on their priors, with Cooper. It's not appropriate in any way, shape, or form. He's behind both Knuppel and VJ Edgecombe as far as I'm concerned. It's not fair to Cooper. He's a teenager, and he has been outrageous for this Dallas team, but that's a terrible basketball team, and he's not doing anything to help them do anything other than lose. It's fun to watch him, build up stats and learn the game a little bit, but Knuppel and Edgecombe are an entirely different class, in my humble opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't know why the number shot up like that. They were even, and it's not like Khan's numbers tailed since last week, but then it really went to maybe it leaked the votes. The votes are in already? I have no idea.
It's definitely not the success of the Mavericks that's leading to this.
Yeah. Knicks Nets. Knicks 11.5 now. That move? Yeah, 11.5. Brunson gave a speech to the team, and that speech was, hey, you think we can get Tibbs back? I think that's what it was, but no, I don't know. They've dropped 9 of 11. Brooklyn's lost 10 of 12. Giants, Jets, Bills, Knicks, Nets. What is going on in the Empire State, Dabbundo? This is bad.
When is the time to start to buy, or do we think that this Knicks team has kind of peaked and been maybe found out, House? Because I'm looking at these odds, and they are way behind in terms of efficiency margin, behind the top 2 in the East. And they're now behind them in odds to even win the East. I don't know if this team is ever good enough defensively, and I don't think that Mike Brown was ever going to be the solve for that issue. I don't think it's a coaching issue. I think it's a personnel issue. So are they just kind of peaked out at this point?
Yeah, this is the concern, and we need to see a sustained run from them on defense. The defense is the thing. You said it, Tony Tokens. There's no proof whatsoever, no evidence out there that this team, this Knicks team, is capable of playing shutdown defense, which was a calling card. Now, it was in spurts, right? But they have the guys that they can push out perimeter-wise. That's the whole point of Bridges and Onunobi. That's the point of those guys. And Mitchell Robinson collecting rebounds when he can stay healthy. They show no desire, and this is the big frailty with this Knicks team. It is the ability of teams to exploit Jalen Brunson, and really the ability of teams to put Karl Anthony Towns in the washing machine and have him come out still smelling bad. So that's your issue.
So it's a detergent New York is using all around.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the water. They all say it's the water that makes the pizza taste so good.
Right.
The bagels and the pizza.
It can't help Karl Anthony Towns, apparently.
All right, listen, House is not done talking NBA, but we do have to take a break. He's going to have an NBA-related best bet. Tony Tokens and I will have college basketball picks. When we return, the Ringer Gambling Show will be back in 2 minutes. The Ringer Gambling Show is brought to you by FanDuel. 4 teams left, 2 games, and with a trip to Super Bowl 60 on the line, FanDuel's turning on playoff mode. And right now, all customers get a profit boost pack during the conference championship round. That means you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bet. So visit FanDuel.com gamblers and grab your profit boost pack for the NFC and AFC championships. You must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-ins required. Bonuses are issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens, and restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. All right, we're back. Ringer Gambling Show. House and I were talking meat during the break. You believe it? Of course we do.
And I was complaining about statistical reference pages.
I know.
What a time.
That's what people do. That's how we take our breaks. All right, let's go. We have one more pick each for tonight. Best bets for Hump Day. House, what are you doing? You're hitting the NBA.
Yeah, I have the Detroit Pistons on the money line, parlayed with Trey Murphy getting at least 20 points. Our guy Zion, this is the Pistons and the Pelicans head-to-head here. The line's 11.5. I don't need to mess with that. Just Detroit outright and Trey Murphy to get to 20 points. That is plus 110 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Right. Zion's out. Trey gets the points.
House was a big winner for us last week with the Clippers minus 12.5. So keep it going, House. Dabbundo College. Where's Arizona State? Is this a home game?
It is a home game, minus 1.5 against West Virginia. This is a spot I love. Team gets kind of bludgeoned a couple times, goes on the road to Arizona, goes to Houston. Market kind of gets a little bit deflated on them off of that loss. Now they get a home game midweek. West Virginia traveling all the way across the country. Tricky situational spot for them. I like the Sun Devils at home.
Yes. Oh, you got confused. What'd you think?
I know. I almost said Wildcats. I was like, oh,
no, that's the other.
Come on, a Umbrella Danger.
I would love to bet Arizona minus 1.5 against West Virginia, but I don't think the sports books would let us do that one.
I'm going to go UNC Tar Heels minus 11.5 over Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. This Tar Heels team is bad, rotten. Sorry, Tate Frazier. They lose at Stanford. They lose at Cal. Those aren't even the good California teams. And now they're home for a conference game versus Notre Dame. Not sure Hubert Davis can save his job, but the Irish struggling worse. They're 1-4 in conference. They lost their last 4 games, 5 double-digit losses on the year, including their last 3, which were by an average margin of 13. Caleb Wilson, coming off 26 and 22-point games, gets the Tar Heels back on track momentarily. Let's say 82-64 final. Lay the 11.5. I'm good with these finals, Dabbundo. You know that. I called the national championship 27-21.
I would have preferred if it was 27-20.
You said 27. Nobody has to know we're 0-9 with the Ringer 107. They just pick the
Where did you call a Boil of Danger spending the night Monday night?
Oh, Abuela. Quick, we got a minute left here. The Dabbundo Aussie Open. I know you're losing sleep over this. You're up till 3 in the morning watching. Who do you have on the women's side?
Yeah, I think Muhova, once again, I mean, you can just replay this. I say this every tournament. I bet Muhova to make the semifinal. She gets to the quarterfinal. She has a heartbreaking loss. It's just the classic cycle that we find ourselves in, but she's plus 550 to make the semis. She finds herself in a quarter with Coco Gauff. They've had a lot of close matches over the years. Also, Mira Andreeva in her section. Andreeva's looked very dicey. So I like Muhova plus 550. I think Sinner wins the men's side. Women's side probably ends up being Sabalenka too, but I think Muhova can make a run, as I always do think.
Yes, you always do think. You don't like my Rybakina plus 700? Just yay or nay, because we got to go.
I don't trust her to win the whole thing.
All right.
She's too inconsistent.
Cavs minus 3, bonus bet. Cavs
Tony
minus 3.
Tokens, you got a little bonus from Joe House. That's it. Ringer Gambling Show. Tune in. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. You must be 21 or older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York in New York